Hi, I'm Rich Torrey. Welcome to another Level Up Cartooning. All you need to follow along with me is a pencil and paper. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? Now, before we get started, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button as it helps this channel to grow, and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. So with the holiday season now upon us, we're drawing some of the great characters and scenes from animated TV specials, holiday movies, maybe even some books that mark this time of year. We kicked things off last week by drawing the version of Ebenezer Scrooge from the 2009 Disney version of A Christmas Carol, starring Jim Carrey as Scrooge. This week, we're going to draw an iconic scene from one of my favorite specials of all time, the 1966 animated version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This was a collaboration between Chuck Jones, arguably the greatest animator of the 20th century, and Dr. Seuss, arguably the greatest children's book author of all time. Our little scene comes from the end of the story, as the Grinch is given the honor of carving the roast beast, and includes little Cindy Lou Who and the Grinch's dog Max. Anyway, what do you say we get started? We're going to draw our Grinch carving the roast beast scene, step by step, giving you the secret formula to be able to draw it again and again. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I normally use the character's head to figure out how big the entire character is. In this scene, where we see half of his body, the Grinch is a little over 2 heads tall. In other words, however tall his head is, his entire body is just over 2 of those tall, not counting his Santa hat. Max and Cindy Lou Who, both much shorter than the Grinch, have similar sized heads and are about 1.5 heads tall. In other words, however tall their heads are, their whole bodies are about 1.5 of those tall, not counting Max's antler. Also notice the top of their heads are level with the Grinch's shoulders. Okay, so let's draw the roadmap for our scene from The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. So there's our roadmap for our drawing of the Grinch, Cindy Lou Who, and Max. Now before we go on to step 2, I want to give you the layout of our character's body poses using simple shapes for those of you who want to screen grab. Just something to help you as you lay out your drawing. Okay, so now we're on to step 2. In this step we do what I call roughing out the features. I want to remind you that until the third and final step, you want to be drawing as light as possible. You'll see that I use guidelines to help me to know where to put our character's eyes, noses, mouths, and muzzles. We don't want those guidelines in the final drawing, so you want to draw them light enough to be able to erase them easily. Okay, so let's rough out the features for our scene from The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Okay, so there are the roughed out features of the Grinch, Cindy Lou Who, and Max. So now with the roadmap done and the features roughed out, it's time for that final step. In step 3, we get to have fun. We get to draw on the final details of our scene from the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. We don't have to guess where to put things because we've already done all the hard work figuring that out. Now is the time to pause and look at your drawing while it's still lightly sketched out. Fix or change things before then committing the drawing to those final lines. But even as you begin those final lines, you want to still be thinking about how you might improve your drawing instead of just mindlessly retracing over the lines you've already drawn. In other words, stay present, stay vigilant until the very end. Okay, so let's draw on the details for our drawing from the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And that's how you do it. There you have it, our iconic pose of the Grinch, Cindy Lou Who, and Max from the 1966 Chuck Jones animation version of Dr. Seuss's children's classic, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. So how do you think you did? Understand, if you've never drawn the Grinch, Cindy Lou Who, or Max before, you cannot expect to have drawn them perfectly. You notice I don't spend time coloring our scene during this video because I want my lesson to focus solely on the drawing process. Now you have the secret formula, the process for drawing our scene from the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And with that, you can draw it again and again. And by all means, color it when you're done. I promise each time you draw it, it'll be a little better and a little easier. I also promise the more you work with me, the better you're going to get at all of your cartoon characters. So I'd love to see your drawing of the Grinch, Cindy Lou Who, and Max. If you can, take a picture and post it on either Facebook or Instagram. And don't forget to include the hashtag #LevelUpCartooning. I hope you had as much fun as I did with this one. Remember to subscribe, and thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep drawing, my friends.